you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you. And as England embark on the final game of the group stage, there's a pretty familiar narrative. An opening 12 days has seen anticipation morph into frustration, a win and a draw, but a clamour for change, results exceeding performance, the sum of the parts greater than the whole, but amidst that frustration, qualification. The second week will end with England in the second round. But right now, their tournament's reached the crossroads. Nobody denies the copious room for improvement. A win allied to a performance tonight would breed cautious optimism and provide a much easier draw. More of the same compounds the pressure, making both the turnaround and their knockout opponents that much harder. So whilst the third night jeopardy is elsewhere, these next 90 minutes on the banks of the Rhine could shape England's tournament and destiny. Jordan Pickford plays in goal. He, like John Stones, starting a 22nd successive tournament game for England. And that ties Ashley Cole's all-time record. Walker at right back, Trippier at left back, and it's Mark Gahey again, partnering John Stones in the heart of the defence. Rice plays alongside Gallagher for just the second time for England. Saka, Bellingham and Foden in support of Harry Kane, who got the winner the last time the two sides met, nearly 7 years ago. All Blacks in goal for Slovenia. Karličić, Drkšić, Bjol and Janja. Stojanovic, Nezdacherin, Elshnik and Maka. And Špora alongside Šeško up front in a 4-4-2. Monsieur, what are your final thoughts tonight? How do England go about breaking down this tight, compact, resolute 4-4-2?
Well, the first thing you've got to do, Jim, is move the ball quickly. When teams get back in slot and compact, you've got to move it quickly. You've got to get turned every opportunity you can, and you've got to switch play. They're the three commodities we need tonight. And I think if we do that, once we get the ball into wide areas, it's that obviously Saka's going to play a big part in this. But can we have a little bit of more forcefulness down our left-hand side as well?
England predominantly attacking down the right-hand side in the tournament so far, and exactly the same could be said from Slovenia. So you would imagine that Kieran Trippier defensively is going to have a busy night. The way that Karličić pushes forward and Stojanovic in front of him will tuck inside. A very defensive-minded midfielder playing on the right wing. England in all white and Slovenia in all blue. England will be kicking from right to left in this first half. England's opening two games have been sweat-soaked and a tough watch. The calabarming evening in Cologne bring the sweet smell of success. A night when a result and a performance need to go hand in hand. History is littered with tournament winners who've survived slow starts to come good when it matters. And England need to sow the seeds of optimism that it might just happen again. From the kick-off, England in possession inside their own half. Walker finding Gahey. And it is, as we've been saying, a very hot night here in Cologne on the banks of the Rhine, but the pitch is entirely bathed in shadow. It's 9 o'clock here, local time. It's certainly nothing like dusk as yet, but mercifully, as far as the players are concerned, there is shadow, and the floodlights are just casting shadows onto the players as England retain possession and work it back for Pickford. A slightly poor pass out from him. Stones did well to rescue it, but there was an odd word between the pair of them. And England will be able to bring the ball forward again here with Gahey to Declan Rice, who's just dropped deep in between the two centre-halves, splitting them for a moment. That creates a bit of room for Stones. Stones out towards Gahey, who can control the ball and bring it forward. Now the press applied by Špora. Rice will bring it under control. Gahey threatened to go back to his goalkeeper, did well to turn out, and he'll just chip it forward towards Harry Kane. It splits off the top of a Slovenian head back inside their own half, but it'll be mopped up easily enough. Back towards Jan Oblak, and England now will apply the press at the front with Phil Foden. Karličić is able to get the ball away. That was better from England. Real good intent from Foden, leading the press on the Slovenian right back. Trippier getting it forward here for Rice, midway inside the half that England are attacking. Collect the ball down the line from Trippier. Foden, a little bit unlucky. A sliding challenge comes in on him, and the ball flicked into his ankle. Goes out of play for a goal kick. But the promise was that England were going to be in the faces of Slovenia, and a couple of minutes in, the intruder they were.
Yeah, indeed. I was just thinking about the defence. I think have played reasonably well over the 2 games that we've seen so far, Jim. Maybe our 2 central defenders up against the 2 strikers, which is unusual this day and age, could be their biggest test.
Kyle Walker comes back to mop up. The Slovenian contingent were absolutely adamant that should have been a corner. A goal kick has been given, but the ball was moving when Jordan Pickford took it. He was not happy at what he saw to be pedantry from the referee, but I think the decision was absolutely correct. Bernard Turpin asking for the goal kick to be retaken. Turpin, the referee in charge of England's win over Italy earlier this season, the Wembley success. Jordan Pickford in all orange, spotting the ball down, and now he will drive it forward, left-footed, way over halfway. Kane going up for it, beaten in the air by Bjol, and the ball goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken by Kyle Walker, just in front of the England flags over on the far touchline. Work very quickly from right to left. England playing at a good tempo, a much better tempo in these very early stages from what we've seen so far. Reminder of it over on TalkSport 2 right now, the other game in this group, which will have implications. That's 0-0 between Denmark and Serbia, as the ball was given away there with a crossfield pass, and England, as a result of that, had to commit a foul. Conor Gallagher with the challenge, and Slovenia have a free kick inside their own.
Yeah, really loose pass there by Jude Bellingham, and we're fortunate enough that the control by Slovenia went backwards rather than got a turn on and went forwards.
Bjol on the edge of his own penalty area, driving it down for Karniček. Slovenia coming into this unbeaten in 8, and if they can extend that tonight, not only will they qualify, it'll be their best unbeaten run in their country's history. They've got the ball over on the left flank, fired inside the penalty area, very deep, headed back by Stojanovic, then towards goal by Šeško, but comfortably claimed by Jordan Pickford. Slovenia winning 2 headers there inside the England penalty area. No harm done, 4 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, a good attack there. Certainly whipped it out wide, left hand side, in it come, first and second contact attained. Still would prefer us looking to go forward slightly more, and another loose pass there by Gahey.
And given away, Šeško able to pick it up. Declan Rice comes back, puts the challenge in. Maka, one-time Brighton Hove Albion winger, has possession over on the Slovenian left. As he works it forward, he's just gone out of play for what will be an England throw. But already through 5 minutes, there's been a betrayal of the nerve and the fact that the England players feel under pressure with the situation they find themselves in.
Yeah, it's their fault to see, to be fair. We've had a couple of bad passes, we've had people playing safe options, and a couple of passes to fellow players that have been slightly overhit and driven at them, and it shouldn't have been.
Throw taken on the England right-hand side. Kane trying to pick it up and turn, can't do so. One back in the midfield by Nestor Sherry. And play forward towards Maka. Sharon rescues a slightly poor return ball. Bellingham herring after that, trying to put the pressure on Durkicic. His long ball forward, easily headed by Kyle Walker, back for his goalkeeper. And Jordan Pickford bowls it out, clean sheets in 9 of his last 14 tournament games, and 10 in all. So we're chipping the ball forward here for Bellingham's run, and Durkicic comes across from the centre-half position and headed away. Bellingham peeling out to this left-hand side again, winning a throw.
Yeah, better play there. Trippier received the ball. Instead of playing safe, forward, backwards and sideways, he's turned the opposition round. Good run by Bellingham. And the worst you'll get is a throw-in in the opposition's final third.
He's slowing things down a moment in the centre circle, and now Walker will work it forward towards Mark Gahey. England in all white tonight, shirt, shorts and socks. And Slovenia in all blue. They're ranked in the FIFA list just inside the top 60, but the yellow rankings has them just outside the top 30. It's certainly helped by the fact that they've beaten Portugal this year, but that is their only victory in the last 10 years against top 10 opposition. England have to ensure that that run continues tonight. Three lines in possession, work it down towards the left flank for Phil Foden. Foden coming in off that side, Stojanovic following in, but not putting a challenge in. Ball goes back for Rice, now down towards Stones. Bukayo Saka hasn't seen too much of it in the early stages, but drops back here. Back for Stones it goes, Gahey inside the centre circle. Kane drops down to a deep position on the inside left channel to pick it up and hits a long diagonal out towards Saka. Saka chasing after it, the retreating Janja can head it away. Maka will pick it up, looks for his fullback. Saka in there very quickly, unrewarded because the clearance from Janja hit him and goes out of play for a throw, but that was good defending from the front by the Arsenal man. Still 0-0.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Bellingham's position. He seems to be playing sort of more on this left-hand side, I would say, than I'm used to seeing him play. So almost an inside left position, and obviously Saka's been starved to the ball so far, and if you consider he is the one player who can take someone on and go past him, he would be the one I'd be feeding as much as possible.
Now he's almost alternating with Phil Foden. Foden drifts back out of the left touchline now, but sometimes he'll come in at 10 and Jude Bellingham will push forward into a wider position to accommodate that. So there's more fluidity between those two than we've seen in the previous two games. You're with TalkSport now, it's still 0-0 in both games in this Group C. So as things stand, England will win the group, but as we saw earlier in that extraordinary climax in the Austria-Netherlands-France group, so much can change so quickly. Austria ending up winning that group. Here's Harry Kane towards the edge of the penalty area. And it'll be clear. Declan Rice heading the ball down. Kieran Trippier on the left-hand touchline for England, midway inside the Slovenian half. Again, there's no challenge coming in on him from Stojanovic, but he's just blocking off his run, stopping him turning, forcing the England man to go back. Before he goes from Gahey to Foden. Foden down towards Trippier. Trippier again taking up more venturous positions in the early stages of this game than we've seen in the previous two, giving more licence to push forward. England trying to play with a slightly higher defensive line as well than we've seen latterly. Saka works the ball back for Kyle Walker. Walker to John Stones. 9 minutes in here on TalkSport. Jim Bradford and Stuart Pearce talking you through the action here in Cologne. Jude Bellingham is able to pick up the ball. Good little 1-2 between him and Foden. Bellingham couldn't quite scoop the return pass into his feet. Slovenia are able to bring it away. We'll work it down towards the right-hand side where Karnic picked up possession very quickly, lost it. Bellingham and Trippier did well in conjunction there. England work it forward long now for Phil Foden. Foden clipping it inside the area, and Saka slipped at the vital moment. But the offside flag is up anyway, and it's a free kick to Slovenia inside their own box. We're through the opening 10 minutes, Stuart. What have you made of it?
Well, I think there's been a nervous start from England, I've got to say. What I want to see is more of what we just saw from Harry Kane. He's picked the ball up, could have played safe, got turned and popped it over the back of the Slovenian defence. For me, every time we turn the ball over or get possession of the ball, you've got to be looking in behind if possible. I don't mean you have to play it, but I mean you at least have to be looking to play, looking for the run.
Gahey heads a long ball from the Slovenian goalkeeper Jan Oblak away. And 5 men have played more games for Atletico Madrid in their history than Oblak, who's into the 460s now. Back for Drkšić. Drkšić 10 yards inside his own half. Not put under any immediate pressure from Bellingham, so he could take it on. Bellingham then applied the press. Stojanovic will be able to pick it up, and he will drive forward. Goes out towards Sporta on the right-hand side of the box. Went through the legs of Declan Rice. Nervously for a moment, Gallagher behind him was in the right position to clear from inside the box. And Slovenia win the second, and there's the Cherin has it. Turn from him. Back through the midfielder, Elshnik. One-time Derby County player. Now to Bjorn. Bjorn out to the left-back, Janja. Janja will turn it forward, trying to get the touch off Walker, which wasn't forthcoming. It's an England throw. Reminder at the end of this game, about 10 o'clock or so, your time, we'll have all of the reaction from down pitchside. The headline makers and Gareth Southgate will be speaking to our England correspondent, Faye Carruthers. After that, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy giving you the chance to have your say on the night's football. The Sports Bar from 10:30 tonight on 03717223344. And following the game, be sure to catch the latest England reaction episode, the debrief with myself, Adrian and Stuart on TalkSport's YouTube channel. That'll be up for you very late tonight. Something for you to get your head round on your way to work tomorrow morning. With TalkSport, we're 11 minutes in here in Cologne. It's 0-0 and largely chanceless so far. As Gallagher plays the ball back for John Stones. Stones 15 yards in the Slovenian half, picking up possession, forward towards Trippier, down towards Jude Bellingham. Bellingham works it forward again for Kieran Trippier and back for Jude Bellingham again on the left flank here.
If I was giving any advice to Trippier, what I would say is when you pick the ball up, whether you're 10 yards inside your own half or slightly inside, the Slovenians are trying to block off the wide pass out to either Bellingham or Foden. I would draw a line between you and the goal and run on that axis, because all of a sudden you're going to come inside like Foden's doing now, and Trippier will be on his stronger right foot.
Something England might be able to work upon. And Stones lays the ball down for Gehi to Kieran Trippier again on halfway. And this is another one of those phases of possession where the passes feel quite safe. Possession being retained almost for the sake of it rather than with any real intent and purpose. Walker forward towards Gallagher and back again. Walker forward towards Foden, who finds himself on the right flank for a moment. There's a strong challenge coming in on him for the centre-half. Biolu stepped up from the defensive line. That's another example of Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham just alternating their roles. Foden now at 10 and Bellingham on the left for a moment. Long crossfield ball, well-intentioned for Kieran Trippier, but it's drifted over his head and goes out of play for a Slovenian throw. 13 minutes in. It's England 0, Slovenia 0 here on TalkSport.
Yeah, you can see that little bit of nervousness in our ranks, which is quite interesting really when you consider we're out the group, we've qualified, and this is a bonus ball in many, many ways.
Stays this way. England win the group, Denmark comes second, Slovenia come third. Now we'll have 3 points and a goal difference of 0, which almost certainly, not certainly, but almost certainly would be enough for them to qualify. Ball's back for Pickford. Pickford laid down to the left flank here for Kieran Trippier. Trippier getting it 4-4 Bellingham. Actually it would, I beg your pardon, it would be enough for them to qualify. If they avoid defeat tonight, they will definitely be through. And if they can finish with 3 points and a goal difference of 0, they will be one of the best third-place teams. Gehi works the ball square for Stones, and it rolls over the top of his foot and goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Slovenian left-hand side. 15 minutes in. I think the headlines from the opening 15 minutes, Stu, that there is the intent to have more attacking endeavour. There is also a bucket load of nerves.
Yeah, without a doubt. There's been a few loose passes, a few overhit passes, and certainly a large modicum of safe passes.
How much of an upgrade is it for you on the first 2 games? Is it an upgrade for you?
The drink draw is out for me on that one. I'm not suggesting it would be an upgrade for what we've seen. Time will tell on that.
Janja taking a throw into the feet on the edge of the penalty area. Back out to Janja again. Fired in deep for Sporta, but over his head. Pickford came out. Was very unlikely to be able to get to that. It beat him and Sporta, and goes out of play for a throw on the England left-hand side.
Yeah, I would say this underlying nervousness is a concern to me, if I'm being honest with you, Jim. But we need to just find something going forward a little bit more. At this moment, we're 15 minutes in, and our most effective attacking player, Saka, I'm not sure he's hardly touchable.
Here's Phil Foden. Foden laying the ball back through the midfield for Jude Bellingham. He's dropped deep into Declan Rice's position for a moment and now can work it out towards Kyle Walker. Walker down the line. Gallagher flicking on. Saka might be able to get the right-hand side of the area. He can. Clips it in from the byline at an angle that wasn't sufficient for Foden to be able to get to it. And it's cleared by Stojanovic, but that was better from England, turning the back line for the first time. Now they're on the back foot themselves. And Sporta will be able to bring the ball forward. Šeško making his way through the middle. Stojanovic joining the attack. Flicks the ball past Gallagher. Gallagher then blocks the cross from Sporta, and it goes out of play for a throw.
Yeah, Trippier will get booked for that challenge inside the opposition's half. It was late. It's the correct decision by the referee. Well played from England there. As I say, Bellingham picking the ball over, out wide, good interchange on our right hand side, Walker and Saka, which is good to see, and a ball into the box just slightly overhit, but from that the Slovakians countered, and they countered with good bodies.
It was a good advantage play by the referee as well after Trippier had gone in a little bit late and a little bit high on Karničík. He gets a yellow card. It's only the second shown to an England player in this tournament so far. Conor Gallagher got the other one, so he's the only player who's a yellow card away from a suspension for the round of 16 tie. As they stand right now, your guess is as good as ours as to exactly where England will end up being in the round of 16. Now there are 5 blue shirts in the penalty area in a position to attack this free kick from the Slovenian right hand side. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinging delivery. Šeško standing near the edge of the 6-yard box. He comes away from a deliberately offside position, makes a run from out to in, and the ball is played in. Good communication from Pickford to Walker, telling him to leave it. It was well judged. Janja's ball curving wide of the far post and goes out of play for a goal kick that Pickford and England will take. 18 minutes in, and it's still nil-nil.
I've got to say that is as good a free kick as you'll get from that area. It was a wonderful ball in from Janja, and it's bounced inside the 18-yard box, level with the back post. England done well to see it out. But from Slovakia's point of view, should have had somebody in and around that area.
Jan Oblak clearing the ball forward. It's still 0-0. Karničík, who scored one of the 2 goals that they've netted so far. The right back playing it forward. The left back Janja scored the other. He's in space on the left-hand touchline. Worked the other way towards Sporar, who could get a low skidding shot in. He took a deflection off Gahey, so Pickford scrambled to stop the ball going out of play for a corner, but managed that relatively easily. And he'll bowl the ball out for Kyle Walker.
Sorry, Jim, I'd like to see when our goalie gets the ball, some sort of movement up the front end of the pitch, you know, boys looking to maybe spinning behind, that type of thing, just to encourage the goalkeeper. He's got a great range of passing.
Well, it was notable in the first game that Harry Kane, I think, received 22 passes in that first game against Serbia, and almost exactly half of them came from Jordan Pickford. Saka coming in off the right flank. Back from him to Bellingham. Bellingham to Rice. Rice to Trippier, who will join in. Only 10 yards outside the Slovenian penalty area here. Back in for Phil Foden. Dropping the shoulder, trying to get towards the byline. Cuts back out once he gets to the corner flag. Lays it down for Trippier. Trippier to Rice. Back in for Foden. Great move. Foden tapped in. Bukayo Saka. He's offside. It was a great England move, but it doesn't count.
I'll tell you what, absolutely outstanding play. Interchange out here, good 1-2s. Rice got on a brilliant position, edge of the box. No one anywhere near him. I was expecting him to turn and run. He's played a ball straight back to Trippier, slid it across the face there. Great goal. Trippier just, Trippier or Foden just straight offside.
Yeah, it was ball played to Phil Foden that saw the offside flag come up rather than the one from Foden to Saka, but that was much better. That was England's best move of the tournament so far.
Yeah, without a doubt. Great play.
But no goal, and 20 minutes in it remains 0-0. But the blueprint just laid down in that very moment. That's what England need to do more of. Attacking with tempo, with impetus, with belief. Popping the ball off with purpose. Jurkisic back inside his own half to his fellow centre-half Biol. Biol working it forward. Coming in off the left flank is Jan Maka. He's lost out, but it was a foul by Walker. And a free kick as a result inside the centre circle to the Slovenians, who played England 6 times before. They got a draw in Ljubljana back in 2016 in Gareth Southgate's second game in charge at 0-0, but England have won the other 5 meetings of the 2. The free kick taken quickly, too long for Janja. Goes straight out of play for a goal kick that could have been taken by Jordan Pickford. 21 minutes gone. It's England 0, Slovenia 0, and these are the thoughts of the former England captain Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, super movement there. We've got the ball in the back of the net. Exactly what's needed. Play and move. Follow your pass, bounce off little 1-2s, but do it with pace and tempo.
Because the offside flag came up, it doesn't count as an attempt on goal, and England still haven't had an attempt so far. 20 minutes in, 70% possession. It's broadly in line with what we anticipated it was going to be. Slovenia have only had 36% possession in the tournament so far, which is the second worst. England taking a free kick too quickly and have been asked to pull the ball back. It was a poor challenge by Janja, and he's got a yellow card, which means he will miss the round of 16 tie through suspension. He's just had his arm around the midriff of Bukayo Saka, stopping and turning. Janja in the book.
Yeah, more importantly, Jim, if we keep feeding Saka, he might miss some of this game, which will be even more instrumental to us. Walker there shoved the ball into Saka's feet. Saka's done well. Walker backed off 10 yards. If I was Walker with his pace, I'd be shoving it into Saka's feet and charging after the ball.
England are in possession. Mark Gahey's got it. There's been the odd flash of nervousness defensively from England, but beginning to settle down, get the game into a more positive manner as they push forward. Walker, easy throw, taken over on the far touch on the other game, also 0-0. Incidentally, it's lively right now on TalkSport 2 between Denmark and Serbia. England, remember, win the group if they win this game, or if they draw, unless Denmark win by 2, or they win by 1 and score more goals than England. So it was pretty close at the top of the group if England don't win this game, but if they do, they're home and hosed, and they're in what on paper would be much the easier half in the draw. Foden clipping the ball out towards the England right-hand side for Walker. Missed kick from Walker, actually ended up being a good dummy for Bukayo Saka coming in off the flank. He's played it back for Foden. Foden down towards Trippier. Bellingham gravitating out towards the left-hand side, has it again. Ball in from him is deflected and cleared. Out towards Gahey. Gahey on halfway. More than happy to turn it all the way back for Pickford, who's got plenty of time to see what's ahead of him. And then just side foots a careful ball through the defensive line towards John Stones and down towards Gahey again.
I don't know whether Gareth and his coaching staff have looked and said we need to get more from the left side, but already in this game we've seen more from the left side. Why is that? Well, Bellingham is coming over this side with Foden, with Trippier, Rice as well, and there's almost a bigger overload player-wise.
There's a poor touch by Rice, who missed Bellingham from close range. The midfielder managed to shed in, played the ball forward, and that was a poor touch as well. Easily won back by England. And Stones whacking it right-footed. Has won a throw as he's launched it into Šeško from close range. Still, although it has been an improvement, there's not the wholesale predictability from England going forward that we've seen before.
I think a bit of that is down to Walker as well. I think he's been very conservative. He's playing and standing or backing off. I think he can help out Saka a little bit more when he gives him the ball.
Foden's on halfway for England here. Back in here to Kieran Trippier. Kane dropping off deep. Just popping the ball back. There's Jerry following him through the midfield. Kane getting it back from Gahey, working it forward. Again, it's come off the Slovenia central midfielder and goes out for a throw, which will be taken on the England right. 0-0, 25 minutes gone. England still, although they've had the ball in the net, the goal disallowed for a fractional but correct offside. Haven't had a shot yet on Jan Oblak's goal. There's Bukayo Saka coming in off the right flank. It's a lovely turn, trying to poke the ball then past Janja. Gallagher peeled past him and went out towards the right. Slovenia win it back. Šeško laying it off for Maka, who will come forward, and then there's a poor challenge from him, and the referee has given England a free kick for a foul on Conor Gallagher on halfway. And England beginning slowly to get a grip of this game and take control. The last 6 or 7 minutes have been their best 6 or 7 minutes of the night so far.
Yeah, there looks to be more balance in our attack at the moment. You know, Foden's holding his width, Bellingham's come to join him.
Foden poking it forward there for Kane, who might have been offside by the time the ball was played. But he went past him anyway and out of play for a goal kick to Slovenia.
Yeah, been nice and lively there. As I say, they've received more of the ball and they're playing a numbers game on this left-hand side, so if you drew a line down the pitch, probably this side of the centre circle, all of a sudden you've got Gahey, you've got Trippier, you've got Rice, you've got Foden, you've got Bellingham when we're attacking.
And what that has done is negate the attacking threat of Slovenia, who, like England, are very right-sided heavy in pushing forward. That's what we've seen in the opening two games with Karnicic loving to get forward from right back, and Stojanovic, a defensive-minded midfielder in front of him on the right wing, giving him the licence to do that. Gahey goes back for Pickford. The Slovenes haven't really been able to attack down this near touchline so far, which is the England left. And we'll give you from right to left. And towards the mass ranks of England support, nearly everybody in the ground wearing a white shirt. And the Slovenes in their change kit of blue tonight, but the Slovenian fans away to our right, everyone else in here supporting England. Declan Rice has got it. 11 Slovenians between him and goal. Pops it off for Walker. Gallagher letting it run. Out he goes for Bukayo Saka. Good ball between the lines for Harry Kane's movement. Kane trying to take on Bjol, couldn't turn with possession. One back though, well on the edge of the penalty area by Bellingham. Bellingham couldn't get a shot in or pass towards Foden. Rice dives in. Bellingham likewise. England win it back. Trippier fought towards Foden. Trippier gets it back again. Down towards Foden on the corner of the penalty area. And England fans infused by that. That was a good passage of play, with high intensity tackling coming in. Foden then works it forward, it comes off Karnicic and goes out for a throw, which will be taken on the England left hand side by Trippier.
Yeah, you can see there's more intent in England. The focus has been sharpened, the tackles are that much more clinical.
Foden, Trippier, Karnicic trying to get it away from Bellingham. Karnicic working it through the midfield, well taken down. Šeško making a run forward. Elsnik trying to play him in. Pickford's going to get there first and gets his hands to the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Now Gallagher will get it, and another big roar of expectation from the England fans as they get it forward.
Gallagher receives the ball there, he's got oceans of space and he decides to go sideways. That's where he's got to drive into holes. That's what gets the crowd off their seats.
Bellingham shipping the ball just behind square for Kyle Walker. He's 10 yards inside Slovenian territory. And he's taken 3 out of the picture by finding Rice. Rice to Kane, shot on the turn is easily blocked by Drkšić. Ricochets off him and spins down towards the left-hand touchline. Trippier for Foden. Foden's ball in. And then on the stretch, Janja, the left-back, pokes it behind. England have the first quarter of the night. It's 0-0.
Yeah, well done Phil Foden. Ball come out wide then. And we've got the opportunity, it's 2v2, put the ball in the box. Worst case scenario, we get a corner opportunity to feed the ball into the box. We have to play at a tempo that is good enough for us, which will be not good enough for the Slovenians.
Trippier spots the ball down on the corner quadrant. Foden is there, offering himself for the short one. Gallagher stands in front of the goalkeeper, although he's got a Slovenian defender between him and Oblak. There are 4 more white-shirted England players near the penalty spot. Gahey and Bellingham. Stones a little bit deeper, Kane deeper still, with Drkšić keeping an eye on him. It's in towards Harry Kane, off the top of Kane's head, keeps it alive. Defensive header from Stojanovic comes outside the penalty area. The bounce slightly misjudged by Rice. Has done really well to win it back though. Kane from distance, and Oblak can get his hands behind it and make the save from England's first shot on target of the night.
Yeah, good play there. Declan just misjudged the bounce, but his physical prowess and his energy turned it over. You can certainly see the focus on energy within the England team tonight.
Earlier today, Austria beat the Netherlands 3-2 in a thriller. France won, Poland won. Our TalkSport 2 game earlier today, so Austria won that group. May well end up playing Turkey. France finished second in it. They're going to get the team that finished second in Group E, which could be anybody. The Dutch finished third but go through. And we've got more live action coming your way tomorrow. Slovakia against Romania, Ukraine against Belgium. They're the afternoon games at 5 o'clock kickoffs. And Georgia, Portugal and the Czechs against Turkey at 8. Sporta towards the edge of the penalty area. Try the shot. Ricocheted high off Stones and comes through for Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, as I say, Pickford receives it and it's 3-on-3 on the halfway line, and there's no suggestion at all that that ball's going to be delivered quick. he's got no body language from the forwards, and I think every now and then he's just going to have to deliver something.
Now towards Saka. Saka clipping it forward towards Harry Kane. Kane to Kyle Walker. Walker into the feet of Gallagher, and then back for Kyle Walker again. Walker working it across the face of Gahey to Kieran Trippier. Will be down pitch side in a moment with our England correspondent Faye Carruthers. Phil Foden's got it. Exchanging passes with Trippier. Foden goes back inside his own half for Mark Gahey, and the build-up now just becomes a little bit more pedestrian again. Now, Faye, what have you spotted from your position right down behind that goal?
Well, Jude Bellingham came just behind the goal, took a swig of water and threw it down in anger. He's getting very frustrated, had a bit of a pop at the referee. Additionally, him and Kane were in the same space at one point. They haven't quite worked out how to be in and around the 18-yard box when those balls are coming in.
Faye, thank you. Ball goes out towards Walker. Walker over on the right-hand touchline. Gallagher makes a run past him. Now towards Stones. He's got Gahey in support for him. And England slowly bringing the ball forward. Slovenians shuffling. There's never too much of a gap between the back four and the midfield four in front of them. Trippier getting forward again towards Phil Foden. Foden, who might well have the key for England here tonight. Getting the ball back, Trippier again. Rice will come forward towards the edge of the penalty area, drop of the shoulder, turns in, then turns out, does well to poke the ball under duress for Trippier, slid down the side of the fullback for Foden. Foden playing it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Walker coming onto it, spoons it square rather than trying a shot. Saka can keep it alive for England. Into the feet of Gallagher and then back for Saka again, who's brought down, and it's a free kick to England, 10 yards outside the penalty area, maybe 12, right of centre, and in a shooting position.
Yeah, this overload on the left-hand side's bearing fruit. I've got to say, it's a 4v3 overload, and the more we can get the ball out there, the better. I would quantify that as well, saying on the right-hand side, I'm fed up with Cole Walker getting the ball, being fronted up by a player, rolling it beyond that player into Saka's feet, and then just standing where he is or backing off. He's got to be charging beyond. It's a giving to Saka and then a run. That's going to help the wide player out.
So England with everybody forward for this free kick. Phil Foden stands over it, and Kieran Trippier is there as well. It's almost an identical position to that Trippier scored from against Croatia in the World Cup semi-final in 2018, which remains his only international goal. But Foden looks the more likely to take this. He's hit it left-footed, and it was a good one into the top right-hand corner before Oblak came across and made the save.
Really good free kick there, whipped it above the wall, going into the top corner, but the goalkeeper made it easier than it potentially was.
So much experience, Jan Oblak, the Slovenian goalkeeper, one of the doubted all-time stars of Slovenian football, played in the side that held England back in 2016, 68th cap for him tonight. Stojanovic down towards Škoda on the right-hand side for Slovenia. They've won a throw in an attacking position, and Jan Karničnik will come across to take it. Now they've scored their goal against Serbia, and a couple of 1-1 draws so far. Slovenia take a couple of steps back to come forward again. It's Elshnik who's played it back for Bjol. Bjol now to Durkasic, the shaven headed of the two centre-halves. He can drive it forward 40 yards. On the end of that is Kieran Trippier, but he was beaten in the air by Stojanovic. Slightly challenge comes in to beat Conor Gallagher in the midfield. Šeško's layoff was poor. It was a good job for England that it was. Maka couldn't make the most of it. They'd retained possession, but England have been able to get their shape back behind the ball because of that poor touch. Now towards the edge of the penalty area, it's worked out towards Stojanovic again. Stojanovic coming in off the right flank. It's 0-0 at the moment. Karničnik clipping it in, really firing it in. And it hit Mark Gahey at the near post, and he was going to be able to clear. Then it's up back over the top again. Elshnik couldn't hold it up, and it's clear. Now towards Foden, he's lost it. Stojanovic towards the edge of the box. He's inside the penalty area. Back for Karničnik. No first-time cross forthcoming. There's your build-up from the Slovenians in this attack-minded position. 8.5 to go to half-time here in Cologne. A very hot night, just sitting here in the stands. The brows perspiration-lined. It's certainly going to be the case down at pitch side that even at this time of night, 20 to 10 at night almost, local time, that it's still going to be unpleasantly warm. But there is a bit of a breeze as well. And the game played at a better tempo than we've seen England's two previous ones. Elshnik for Slovenia, down towards Karničnik. Work through the midfield again. Šeško still waiting. The golden boy Slovenian football, the RB Leipzig striker, hasn't had too many opportunities to shine in this tournament so far. Karničnik's got it again to Stojanovic. Fall through the midfield from Elshnik. Elshnik popping it off and then getting it back again. Little left-footed ball down the right-hand side of the penalty area from a player who's had loan spells at Mansfield and Northampton earlier in his career. Karničnik getting it for Stojanovic. Level with the edge of the penalty area for Špora. Had a season on loan at Middlesbrough. Now work towards the edge of the penalty area. England backing off again. Stojanovic clipping it in. They've made a run round the back of Declan Rice. Helped inside the penalty area. It bounces near the spot. Šeško going up for it. Then one of the Slovenians went down. I think it was Maka claiming, or Janja it was, claiming that he was pulled to the ground. And the whistle does go. It's for an England free kick just outside their own penalty area. VAR will be having a quick look at the incident inside the box, but I don't think there's a case to answer.
No, I didn't see enough in that incident, but the last couple of minutes we've seen the threat from this right-hand side of the Slovenians, haven't we? They've played extremely well. They've waited their opportunity to get in behind Trippier and Foden, and they've done it on a couple of occasions.
There's Gahey. Right forward down the England left for Kieran Trippier. Trippier to Foden. Bellingham making a run forward. Was England just preparing to restart play there. Bellingham was down, just leaning over. He's making a really good run forward here, but the ball has gone past him. He ends up having to put the brakes on as he slid forward on his knees and put his foot up to kick the hoardings to make sure that he was in control of the collision between the two. What have you made of Jude's opening 39 minutes? More fluidity of movement, but is he heavily involved enough for you?
I think he's playing a frustrated role, if I'm being quite honest with you. I think he's attempted to go and press and shut down, and then when he's not been backed up by a fellow player, he's flailing his arms a little bit, and the odd look at the dugout, as much to say, well, hang on a minute, I'm happy to do it, but I need some reward for doing it as well. I think his positional play, playing on this left-hand side, inside left, has been helpful to us for a numbers game as well, for the overload on the left-hand side. So we've had more punch because of his position.
Gallagher plays the ball back for John Stones. We're 5 minutes from half-time here on TalkSport. That was Stuart Pearce alongside me, Jim Proudfoot. Sports England correspondent Faye Carruthers. Keeping an eye on events from pitch side as well. Adrian Durham in the chair here. And Stones plays the ball down towards Trippier. First time scoop over the top of the full-back for Bellingham. Bellingham's on the edge of the penalty area. Draws two Slovenians towards him. Plays it back for Trippier. Great ball in! And slid just wide at the far post. It was Conor Gallagher that made his way forward, trying to get his head on it and missed it. And then Kane coming in, did get a foot on it, but the ball was just too heavy for him. And he couldn't get the touch that he needed. Much better again.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, we've come fresh from watching the Spaniards yesterday, and every opportunity they had out wide, they whipped the ball in the box. And if that's anything to judge it by, for me, you've got to keep encouraging that. Wonderful ball in and good movement by the players in the box.
Oblak. The ball clear from inside his own 6-yard box. 4.5 minutes to go to half-time. Trippier helping it forward. Turned back by Nezda Cherin. Špora. Stojanovic. A couple yards inside his own half and played forward by him to the long-haired Šeško. Now Walker coming out a through ball is able to hit it briskly back for Pickford, but he could clear. And then waves his hands in an animated manner around his head. And looking over at the assistant referee on this near touchline, Nicholas Dano clearly felt that the flag should have come up for offside. It didn't. And they'll get a throw midway inside their own half. With Rice out towards the right-hand touchline for Walker. Level and nutmeg for Walker of the left-sided player Maka. Now down towards Jude Bellingham. Bellingham over halfway. Phil Foden's got it. Bellingham continues his run. Foden coming back inside. He goes back for Margay. John Stones can bring it forward over the halfway line. Declan Rice has got a little bit more space. And bring it on some 7 or 8 yards before feeding it out towards his Arsenal teammate Bukayo Saka. Saka back for Walker. Into the feet of Rice again. Rice going out towards the right-hand touchline and drawing a couple of blue shirts out there with him. Played back towards John Stones. Stones to Kane. Possession still really easy to come by for England. Now Kane can get turned. Kane will make his way forward. There's a deflection on that shot. And he loops up over All Black and over the bar. Out of play for another England corner, they say.
Well done. England making it look quite easy then. Ball to Kane. And what all strikers have got to do, get turned. A wealth of space in front of him and took the shot on and forced the corner. Still a little bit frustrated with Cole Walker. I think he can offer so much more going forward, playing very conservative at the moment to give us more thrust on that right-hand side.
Both games 0-0. And that means that England will win the group by 2 points. In comes England's second corner. Very deep. Declan Rice coming in at the far post. Just got caught underneath the flight of it. Nobody got a touch at all. And it goes out of play for a throw. It's going to be taken by the Slovenians in their right-back position with a couple of minutes to go to half-time. Still 0-0, still cagey.
It's a well-worked corner there, as you say. Declan spun round the back and Trippier drove it with his laces to the far side. It's a super ball, but Rice just got underneath it.
Rice trying to get on the end of the next ball that's played forward as well by Jan Oblak. Trippier mopping up, goes back for his goalkeeper. The Slovenian fans away to our right-hand side, just bobbing up and down, mostly in white shirts, the blue shirt in there as well. Stones gets it forward. A very close, warm night here in Cologne in Western Germany. Stones out towards the right-hand side for Gallagher. Because of the conditions, heat-sapping conditions, the full effective use of the bench could well be one of the keys for England tonight. Stones to Gallagher. Gallagher out towards the right-hand side for Walker. Walker getting it, but no thought from him to go forward. He just controlled it and works it back instead for Stones.
No, it should be a little 1-2, a little bump pass, or alternatively shove it into someone in front of you and just run straight at them. All of a sudden, the fullback that's dealing with Saka's got to make a decision. Do I peel off him or do I stay tight?
Gahey, Rice. Long head Gallagher laying it back for John Stones. We're in the last minute of the first half, maybe one additional minute to be added. No more than that, I wouldn't think. Phil Foden's got it, coming in off the left flank again. Stojanovic following him every step of the way, but not engaging. Long ball over the top from Rice, nodded down well by Walker, in a much more advanced position this time. That nod down finds Bukayo Saka. Saka into the feet of Bellingham here on the edge of the penalty area. He just trying to feather a ball back for either Saka or Foden, who were coming in, and he unfortunately missed the pair of them. Again, better from England. It's more intricate attacking play around the edge of the box than we've seen in either previous game, although everything is relative. Stones to Walker, to Gallagher again. Gallagher turns it out towards the right-hand touchline. That's the end of the first half. And again, some isolated boos and whistles, the reaction from the England support. I think that's probably been slightly better than what we've seen. But, as I say, it's not a particularly high bar to get over. The room for improvement is still copious and obvious. Half-time, 0-0. And it's a change at half-time, the earliest that Gareth Southgate has ever made in the tournament game. Conor Gallagher off, and Colby Mainu is on to replace him. It's only Gallagher's second competitive start today in the last 24 months. He came off at half-time in the last one as well, which ended up being a 2-0 win at home to Malta. And he's off tonight. Colby Mainu on to replace him. Would you have brought Mainu on, or would you have brought Wharton on, bearing in mind you're trying to bring the best out of Rice?
Well, that is the situation, isn't it? I think there is this concern that if you do shift Declan Rice from that role, it's going to expose your backline a little bit, and that is the concern you've got. Will it improve Declan's performance within the team? I think it will. Will it be to the detriment of the team? I don't know.
So Mainu is only 9 weeks past his 19th birthday, comes on for his 5th cap for England. as a half-time substitute. This is how England line up. Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Gahey and Trippier. Rice now alongside Mainu, Saka, Bellingham and Foden and Kane. Oblak in goal for Slovenia, Karnicic, Drkušić, Bjol and Janša. Stojanovic, Nezdasherin, Elshnik and Maga. And Spora and Šeško up front. Now they'll be doing everything they can, like they did last night, to be able to get the two games kicking off pretty much simultaneously for the second half, and that means that there's a long delay here. Only now does Clement Turpin give the signal for the game to get back underway. England in all white, Slovenia in all blue. Night beginning to fall here in Cologne. Next 45 minutes could put the lights out on Slovenia in this tournament. If they avoid defeat, they're definitely going through. England know that if they win, then they will definitely be winning the group. And the way that the other results and the other groups have gone, England really need to win their group. Ball goes out towards Phil Foden on the England left-hand side. England are kicking from left to right in the second half here on TalkSport, with Mark Gahey in possession, bringing the ball towards the edge of the centre circle. Comes down towards Stones, who will control it. And Kobbie Mainoo gets the first touch, and second pops the ball back for Gahey as well. Trippier, who supplied 3 of the 5 England crosses in that first half, which is in stark contrast to the statistics over the first 2 games. Foden able to play it forward towards him again. England have had a much better balance down the left-hand side, but have lost a little bit down the right-hand side in the process. Well, working forward again here, win a throw. Midway inside the Slovenian half. The game remains 0-0, so it's as you were in this group as things stand. Both games 0-0, and England would win the group. Denmark will finish second, Serbia will be out. Phil Foden's got possession, coming in off that left flank into an inside left position. Kobbie Mainoo coming forward in support for him. Ball just slowed down to a standstill for a second or two there. Bellingham, lovely pirouette from Jude Bellingham in towards the feet of Mainoo. Mainoo's ball back behind Trippier. Betraying his early nerves after coming on, but he was rescued by the experienced Kieran Trippier in behind him. Bellingham coming forward into a central area, then turns and sharply hits the ball out towards the left flank again for Trippier. 2 minutes gone in the second half, still 0-0. Foden, second half play almost exclusively in Slovenian territory so far, but the ball has been given away. Slovenia looking to try and hit on the counter-attack. Saka has done well to come back. Walker just showed an element of doubt into the mind of Maka. Saka came back and did the rest to mop up. And England are on the front foot again.
Yeah, just showing that little bit of extra pace we got on this right-hand side of the pitch. Might need to use it going forward rather than backwards a touch.
Kane. In behind that Mark Gahey. Gahey to Pickford. Pickford forward towards John Stones. Stones controlling the ball, finding Kyle Walker. Walker for Stones again. Foden just keeping the width on the left-hand touchline, hugging the touchline for the moment. Just giving Karnicic, the right-back, something to think about. Saka comes in off his flank to central area. Goes behind square for Gahey. Trippier, now to Foden. Foden will get it and has the opportunity to run at Stojanovic. Back through the midfield for Saka. Saka making his way back out towards the right flank. Bellingham to Walker. Down the line, Saka looks as though he's pushed in the back there. Plays allowed to continue. Saka's done well, good ball retention. Kobbie Mainoo inside the area for Bellingham. Bellingham can't get a shot in at the first time of asking. And after a touch from Maka, he's happy to let the ball run out of play for a corner, which is England's third of the night. It's 0-0.
Yeah, decent build up there into this wide area. Just couldn't get it out of our feet to pop across into the box. And Bellingham once again couldn't just sort his feet out in the box. Corner for England.
That is the corner which has been taken short by Trippier. Mainoo 10 yards outside the penalty area. Now to Walker. Walker out towards Rice. Lofted ball inside the penalty area. Attacked by Kane. Nodded in across the edge of the 6-yard box. Half cleared. And Bellingham will be able to pick it up. And he's gone back for Walker. Dangerous set piece from England. Not a good ball forward from the back from Kyle Walker. Couldn't hide his dismay. He's got away with it. Phil Foden, brilliant quick feet from him. Able to find Bellingham. Bellingham inviting Trippier forward. And England still within 20 yards of the edge of the Slovenian penalty area as Mainu picks out Bellingham. Bellingham almost got it through to Kane. There's more invention from England's passing moves now. Ball launched by the Slovenians to halfway. Gahey has done a very good job on Spora. He continues to have a fine tournament. Saka down the right-hand side of the box here for Kane. Foden coming in. The cross blocked. Vital block. Out for a corner. Better start of the second half.
Yeah, some good play. Good interchanges. Just couldn't get in behind the Slovenians. And when they did turn over and counter-attack, Gahey done extremely well at dealing with any danger. As you rightly say, Jim, he's played a solid tournament and he's been vital for us at the back.
Trippier comes across to take this corner. Spots it down on the quadrant. Raises his right arm above his head. England looking for the breakthrough. It's hitting very deep. Kane nodding it back into a dangerous area. Sliced high up in the air by one of the Slovenian players, and then a shot, a speculative one from Foden from thick end of 30 yards, bobbles wide. But it has been a more purposeful start from England at the beginning of the second half. They've started this second half infinitely better than they've started either of the other second halves in the tournament so far.
Yeah, they definitely have, and I think Mainu's played a part in that. He's been quite concise with his passing, keeping possession, knitting things together.
Mainu, another central midfield partner for Declan Rice. For him tonight, the man that scored the winner in the FA Cup final. Magnificent season that he's had, but will he now be able to stake a claim over the next 40 minutes or so to being a regular starter from here on in the tournament for England? Kyle Walker brings the ball forward. Bukayo Saka coming in off the right flank. Mainu controls it, runs back inside his own half. A conservative ball back towards John Stones. Stones' control, not the best, but under no pressure, he was able to salvage the situation. Bellingham comes down from that left flank with Foden spending much more time in a central area tonight than he has so far. Stones plays it to Phil Foden now. Stones then lays it back inside the centre circle for Mark Gahey. Still plenty of width over on that England left-hand side if they want to try and launch it forward for Trippier, who's starting position much more in advance than Kyle Walker has shown on the right so far. Walker gets it forward here down towards Mainu. Mainu for Walker. Walker in towards Foden. Foden controlling it, slipping it through towards Saka. He's playing with his familiar head-up style tonight, Phil Foden, and has produced his best performance of the Euro so far. Rice goes down, his way back to his feet. There's just a little coming together between him and Elshnik. They help each other up. Play goes on. England continue to dominate possession and have territorial advantage go with it in the early stages of the second half here on TalkSport. Kane with another rasping ball. Walker trying to volley it back, but has sliced it over the far corner of the goal and straight out of play for a goal kick. The idea was right. The execution of the second pass, far from it.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic ball by Kane, I've got to say, to Walker, who's got himself forward on that occasion in the box. Got to take a touch really on that. And from there, I've got to say England have started this half pretty well.
You're talking, making the comparison with Spain's B team that we saw beat Albania yesterday. They had 23 crosses across every 4 minutes in that game. England 5 crosses in the first half, across every 9 minutes by comparison.
And I definitely think it's on to pop it in the box, that is for sure.
Kane's done it again now. Bellingham making a run forward. The ball then cleared by Pjol. Bellingham went down. He's appealing for a penalty. And Slovenia get a goal kick out of it. But Harry Kane all of a sudden is much more heavily involved in different areas, playing incisive passes.
He certainly is. There's been more through balls, more forward passes, that is for sure, certainly from Harry. And Jude Bellingham there, his first touch just deceived him slightly.
Well, so much reaction after every England game. It goes without saying here on TalkSport, starting with you tonight on the Sports Bar from 10:30 tonight. 03717223344. Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy taking your calls. We've also got the latest England reaction episode on TalkSport's YouTube channel with myself, Jim Crafford, Adrian Durham and Stuart Pearce. And that'll be posted last thing tonight. Be sure to catch that. Tomorrow morning, the reaction continues with Alan Brazil and Alan Pardew bringing you TalkSport breakfast. Rangers legend Ali McCoy's joining the boys from 8, and former England striker Ricky Lambert amongst the guests tomorrow morning. It's here on TalkSport. And more live games tomorrow. The conclusions of Groups E and F: Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine, Belgium at 5, Georgia, Portugal, and the Czechs against Turkey at 8. All 51 games covered for you, live with passion on the TalkSport network. Kyle Walker plays the ball back here for John Stones. It's 0-0 tonight in both games. 10 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, I think the big plus for England, certainly this second half, Slovenia looked nowhere near affecting our goal in any way, shape or form.
Walker down towards Saka. Saka will come in off the right flank for England. The play for Kieran Trippier can just stride forward onto it. He'll lay it out towards the England left. Jude Bellingham's got it. Right-footed ball almost nonchalantly clipped towards the edge of the penalty area, but Bjol can get it away. Rice winning it back. They are trying to set up situations, keeping the front two forward here, Slovenia, where they can almost go 2 against 2 if they turn possession over. They've tried to do it here, but in doing so, it's a foul by Karnichnik and a free kick to England, 12 yards outside the penalty area. Not quite a shooting position because of the angle. It's almost level with the left-hand side of the box.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity though. Foden, with obviously his previous free kick effort, is on top of the ball. Trippier as well, left and right foot options. Certainly Mainu's helped us, I would say, Jim, would you?
Absolutely, I think it has been a step forward in the midfield. He's played with a greater verve than Conor Gallagher was able to in the opening 45 minutes. Foden and Trippier, the two players standing over this for England. It's going to be a left-footed away swinger from Foden. Kane coming in to attack it. Brilliant defensive header, got it out of his flight path. Back in from Saka. Little near post flick. And Rice chasing after that. Watches now to play for a corner.
Well, Harry Kane's eyes lit up then. That ball was floated in superbly well by Foden. Great defensive play, I've got to say. We all just got a little touch on it, helped it away over the top of Kane's head. Good play by England.
There was a goal-saving intervention from the centre half. Foden to take this corner. England have had more in the second half than they did in the first already. In it comes, heading towards goal. It's cleared on the line by Šeško. Back in, an overhead kick attempt, saved by Oblak. And the referee's given a free kick to Slovenia inside their 6-yard box. I think Bukayo Saka is the guilty party because the overhead kick attempt has caught one of the Slovenian players.
Yeah, it's a big scramble in the box there. Great corner in. It's again great first contact. John Stones it was, and managed to keep the ball alive, and then it just dropped into good defending, brave defending actually. And Oblak just claimed it. England have started this half very well. Mainu's played a big part in that. He's knitted things together. And you take this game in isolation up to now, and it's been a decent performance, I would say. I think we've come into it with a bit of emotional baggage, let's say, from the 2 previous games. But in isolation, I think we're quite pleased with this. If we can get a goal or 2, it'll be a very good night's work.
Sporar, the player that was hurt, has received some treatment. He's down on this near touchline. Let's go back down behind the goal away to our left-hand side and join TalkSports England correspondent Faye Carruthers. Faye?
I'm just behind Jordan Pickford, whose reaction when John Stones' header was saved off the line there was a picture. He just plummeted down to the floor, but Bobby Mainu's just gone over and received some instructions from Gareth Southgate while taking on some water. He's had a great start.
Yeah, he has, and he's involved again here, winning it back, feeding Kane. Kane coming forward. Back down towards Bukayo Saka. Faye will be speaking to Gareth Southgate and the headline makers after the game, and you can hear those interviews here on TalkSport in the immediate aftermath of the match. Kane picking up a loose ball on the edge of the penalty area, rolling it square. Trippier coming onto it. Bellingham takes the responsibility, feeds Foden to his left-hand side. 14 minutes gone in the second half, 0-0 here. 0-0 as well in the Denmark-Serbia game, although Serbia have just had a goal disallowed for offside there. But it remains 0-0. It's live on TalkSport 2. Good movement from Declan Rice out of the England left. Coming in off the left flank, recycles it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Bellingham, Foden, Mainu, Foden, Rice, Bellingham, Foden. England playing the passes as quickly as you can call the names at the moment, which is good to see. Rice clipping it towards the edge of the penalty area. In towards Walker, who chests it down. Walker back towards Bukayo Saka. Mainu making a good third-man run forward. That creates space for Saka. Saka to Foden. Foden trying to bring it on, get himself into a shooting position. Nicked off his toes. England will come back again. They're turning the screw. Mainu sends the ball inside the penalty area. Karničnik watches it go past him. Bellingham picks it up. Fielding it, going back for Declan Rice. Position of the referee did him no favours, but he plays a little 1-2 with Foden. It's cleared on the edge of the area. Šeško chests it down. Slovenia looking for a counter-attack, can't find one. Roars of real encouragement from the England support now, because this is better. They're getting closer, slowly closer to their level. Mainu down towards Walker. Walker nudging it, trying to get past the fullback. Janša does get the ball in, but only after it's gone over the dead ball line. Too heavy a touch, but good attacking intent from Walker, taking on his man.
Exactly, took the words out of my mouth, Jim. As I say, he's picked the ball up, he's one-on-one. You know, in world football there's very, very few quicker than him, and it's the first time tonight he's took him for a run. We want to see a touch more of that. England playing extremely well at this moment in time, waiting for that opening, and while they're doing well, is getting the overloads in these wide areas. It's 4 versus 3. If the Slovenians are leaving 2 up the pitch, they're very lightweight either side.
The other thing about Walker taking on Janša is on a yellow card. He's the one Slovenian player that has been booked. So Kyle Walker, I'm sure, given as much licence as he wants to try and make that type of run. We just haven't seen it frequently enough. Stones has got the ball in the heart of the midfield for England. Brings it towards the edge of the centre circle, plays out to the left-hand side. Back it comes towards Bellingham. Bellingham to Trippier. There he will bring it forward and find John Stones. Walker coming forward now, as Stones would for Manchester City, into the heart of the midfield. Ball goes out towards Saka, and the referee's assistant, I think, is flagged that it's just gone out of play. He's given a free kick, has he?
It's Saka is deemed just catching Jesna in the face.
Just tried to roll his man, put the ball off towards Mainu, and do his best to wriggle away, and he did just catch the fullback. A free kick which will be taken by the Slovenes. They're in no hurry to take it. A few of them getting some drink on board.
I mean, from a positive point of view, Jim, I think we've limited them to very, very few efforts or even entries in our final third, which is a real plus.
Much more purposeful from England. Stones has to come across here as Gahey just for a moment was beaten. That's been a rarity. It's a little low 5 between Stones and Gahey. So one centre-half bails out the other. Clearance putting the ball out. It's going to be a throw that will be taken on the Slovenian right, way inside the England half. Šeško waiting towards the edge of the penalty area, goes in towards Spora. Shot from distance, a left-footed effort well wide of Jordan Pickford's goal. And out for a goal kick going to be taken by England. Hardly seen anything from Slovenia as an attacking force. It was interesting looking at their previous games that they would press in the first half, but they would take huge breathers. They go through long 15-minute periods where they wouldn't press at all. They would just allow the opposition possession. We've seen one now at the beginning of the second half. They did that against the Danes as well. We just had no interest in trying to win the ball. It was literally about containing. And that might be a dangerous tactic to play here. 63 gone, 0-0. England still top of the group. They might end up playing the Dutch if they win this group. If they finish second in the group, they will end up playing Germany, and that is to be avoided. Win the group, you're in the easier half of the draw. So many of the big hitters are in the other half. Long ball forward from Gahey, headed down by Walker. just behind Mainu, but straight to Bukayo Saka. Walker picks it up again. Through the midfield for Mark Gahey. Gahey. Into the feet of Jude Bellingham. It's the first England display in the Euros where they've got better as the night has gone on. That also a sign of encouragement. Saka to Walker. Walker back towards Kobbie Mainu. Mainu drifting out towards the right-hand side again. Mainu coming in with his left foot, lent it with his right foot to his left, gets it back. Rice will bring it forward, flicked it for a run from Saka, which wasn't forthcoming. Bellingham read the script and chased after it, and just gave Janja a cheeky little shove in the back. And Janja making the most of that has gone down. Now I'm going to speculate that it wasn't actually as hard a shove as he's making out. Just guessing. He's getting back to his feet. He's going to be okay. And it's going to be the goal kick and restart play, which will be taken away to our right-hand side. Night has fallen. There are 4 vertical columns, one in each corner of the stadium here, but as night comes and light up in different colours, some greens and blues and reds, just big squares, almost like the easiest Rubik's Cube you can wish to see, stacked one on top of the other, going up past our view, past the roof into the night sky. Rice gets it for. Janja is okay, I'm glad to say. Gahey gets it down the left-hand touchline. Foden stuck out the leg, couldn't bring it under control. Karničnik can. And he will win a throw, which will be taken by the Slovenians over on the right flank. As things stand, good night for Slovenia, because they're going through a better night for England in terms of the level of performance, and the support, as you can hear, all around us, much more positive tonight, because they've got something to grab hold of now, the England fans.
Yeah, and the team are playing with confidence. You can still see and feel the confidence growing within the ranks, you know, in what they're trying to achieve.
Gareth Southgate just giving Kobbie Mainu a few instructions by the bench. He's talking the young man through the game when necessary. Now, Mainu's done really well. Stones. To Phil Foden, back for Trippier again. Trippier a yard or two inside his own half. To Foden. Bellingham makes a run. Laid back once more for Gahey. Gahey inside the centre circle for Walker. Walker to Saka. Saka coming in off the right flank. Back for Walker. Play almost exclusively in the half that England are attacking, but although they had a really good start of the second half, the chances that were being created just dried up for the moment. Phil Foden towards the edge of the centre circle for Stones. Almost midway through the second period. Stones to Walker. Walker continues his run. Saka lets the ball run across him. Feats Kane. Cleared though by the left back Janja. Foden getting it back in the midfield. Down towards Walker. Kane just standing with his back to the direction of play on the edge of the penalty area. More dynamic run comes from Bukayo Saka. Players just not staying regimented, fixed in the same positions in this England performance tonight. Foden coming forward, thought he was caught. Would have been a free kick in a really good position, not given. Gahey then has got to make sure that he doesn't let Sabora get past him. Pulled him down, it's going to be a yellow card. Stones a covering defender, it's only a yellow, no more than that. But he made the mistake, Mark Gahey, and he knew he had to physically take matters into his own hands really quickly.
Yeah, we lost the ball on the edge of the box. It was just pumped forward, and 2 centre-halves sort of got in a bit of a mix, and Gahey himself was the one that probably made the first mistake of the evening, or maybe even the tournament in these respects.
And there's some movement on the England bench, Faye.
There is. Cole Palmer is stripped and ready to go, taking instructions from Steve Holland. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to come off and who he's going to replace.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Bellingham, you know. Out of all the players on the pitch at the moment, it would be Bellingham for me that will come off. I think he's probably been the weaker of. I think Harry Kane's played well, Foden's played well. Declan Rice, you can't take him out of the midfield. Manu's come on and done very well. Where'd you go otherwise?
You would imagine that will be the change. He will be coming on very shortly for his tournament debut. Was part of the under-21 side that won the European Championships. He scored a goal en route to that, Cole Palmer, and he's going to be coming on for the final 20 minutes here. First of all, though, There is a free kick to defend. They've created nothing from open play in this second half, Slovenia. But what does this set piece give them? And there's the Cherin, the central midfielder, stands over this. The angle favours a right-footed in-swinging delivery. It's 30 yards from goal. There's the Cherin standing, hands on hips. Is he going to be the man to deliver it? Every England player back behind the ball. He's clipped in, left-footed in the end by Janša. An England player goes down. The ball goes straight through the penalty area and out for a goal kick. It's an England man down. That is Jude Bellingham. Stones goes across and will help him back to his feet. And are England going to make the change now, or are they going to make it the next break in play? It is going to be now. And Cole Palmer, wearing 24, is showing his boots to the fourth official, and the numbers board comes up, and it's number 7, not number 10. So Bukayo Saka is the player that's going to come off, Stuart.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't know whether Saka's been carrying some sort of injury at all, but he's certainly been the one that's come off in the games on a regular basis in and around this sort of time. So I can only help thinking that it's as much sort of physical as it is performance-wise.
So Palmer, 27 goals over the course of the season for Manchester City and predominantly for Chelsea, comes on and plays on the right-hand side in Saka's position. But he'll make an early dynamic run through the middle here. That created space for Walker. A long diagonal ball pinged out in his direction, didn't quite find him. England very quickly win it back in the midfield with Mainu. Mainu to Declan Rice. And Rice just inside his own half as he controls the ball. Has options to his left-hand side. One of them is Bellingham, and he can now play it further forward towards Kieran Trippier. 19 to go, it's 0-0. And 0-0 as well, live over on TalkSport 2 between Denmark and Serbia. So England winning the group and 20 minutes away, as near as makes no difference, from winning the group. Stones getting it forward away from Šeška. No sign of any Slovenian changes as yet. On occasion, they've gone to a back 5 late in games, gone 5-3-2. I wonder if they'll be tempted to do that here. Remember, a draw, a good result for them, because it will mean that they will qualify. Walker to Mainu. Now play forward by Walker, slipping it in towards Kane, and he's been brought down cynically around the edge of the penalty area. The older defender involved. Again, there's a covering defender. It's a yellow card.
Yeah, good ball into Kane's feet there. Viol's got too tight, ended up in a couple of ricochets with Kane. Kane's got the other side of him. His eyes lit up. He thought he was in on goal. And in a very, very cynical foul. We've had 2 really cynical fouls. A yellow card probably doesn't do justice. It's not a red, but it's almost a 10-minute simping job.
Yeah, both oranges. Both saw that they had teammates coming back so that they could make that kind of challenge with impunity. But both of them, that one and the Gahey one a few minutes before it at the other end, certainly you would imagine saved a shooting opportunity from a really good area.
It's really good to hear the England fans in good voice. Obviously a little bit of frustration certainly in the last game, but I think they've been buoyed up by this performance.
There are 3 in the wall. The free kick is 6 yards outside the penalty area, right of centre. Trippier and Foden stand over. There are 5 to be picked out in the far post area. Trippier flighting it in, peeling round the back. Gahey nods it down. Palmer's going to get there first. The ball cleared out of play for a throw. Jingler will take over on the far side. And from a set-piece situation, that close to goal was a disappointment.
Can I ask you a question, Jim? What result in the other game would, if we're staying 0-0, would dispose us of top position? A Danish 1-0 victory, potentially, or...?
Yes, absolutely that. So if this ends 0-0 and the Danes win 1-0, then Denmark would finish top of the group. That game apparently has been even worse than this one. They would finish top of the group on goals scored if that one ends 1-0 and this one ends 0-0. So the Danes, if they're going to win by 1 and this one ends as a draw, have to score more goals than England do. But yeah, 1-0 changes everything. It changes it from being a game against the third place team, ended up in the right half of the draw, to playing against Germany in the wrong half of the draw. So everybody with everything crossed that the news from Munich is good as well. Ball played towards the edge of the area and slicing across it. It's flashed wide in the outside of the right boot by Declan Rice. High tower of chance.
Yeah, really good effort there, good run. Mainu sat, held his position. Declan Rice foraging forward. Good little 1-2 and slashed at his attempted shot. But listen, I don't want to make sure that tonight's game doesn't end up falling flat. If there's a result elsewhere and we drop into the other side of the draw and face Germany, I think this will be a real frustration for us.
Well, you mentioned Denmark there. Let's go back pitch side and speak to our correspondent, Faye Carruthers.
Yeah, Jordan Pickford just walked over in a break and asked me what the score was in the other game. Put 2 zeros up. I nodded and he put 2 thumbs up. Pleased with that.
Yeah, if England can match Denmark's result, that will be good enough. Šeško, the golden boy of Slovenian football, has come off and he's been replaced by a man that used to have that mantle back in the day, Josip Ilicic, now 36. Bosnian-born midfielder who scored nearly 100 goals in Serie A, and he's come on for the final 15 minutes. Both of these two teams happy as things stand at the moment. Chance for Ilicic now to get the ball forward from the heart of the midfield. And towards the left-hand touchline for Slovenia. Janja is waiting, but it's a more conservative approach to goal that they take, just trying to get a grip on the ball at the moment. Vukišić launched forward towards Karničík, headed away. England chase after a loose ball on the far touchline, which is their left, but they're not going to get to it. Jan Oblak will be able to clear, right-footed over halfway. Rice just being pulled down, got his head to it anyway. Foden's done well, gets it to Kyle Walker. Walker will come forward to his right-hand side. Cole Palmer. Palmer driving on, lovely ball split through the back line for Mainu. Mainu pulls it back past the penalty spot, in behind Kane. Nobody else had gambled. Slovenia get it away.
Yeah, great play, great interchange there, good movement, and that pullback, you're waiting for a white shirt to arrive around the penalty spot and stroke it into the back of the net. Sadly, they made other runs.
And now Declan Rice has just picked up a yellow card for a foul on Ilicic. That's 3 England players booked so far. The crime count could potentially end up being important, depending on the result in this game and the result in the other. It might be that the disciplinary record of England and Denmark becomes relevant. England with the 3 yellow cards tonight, still 2 ahead of the Danes in total, but just in case. It also, of course, means that you've got a potential problem with suspensions later on in the tournament. Rice getting his first yellow card of the tournament there, and he's in the book along with Trippier and Gahey tonight, and Janja and Bjol of Slovenia. 12 minutes to go. Cole Palmer again driving forward, clipping it left-footed over the top. Kane chases after it. First time ball flashed across the 6-yard box. Attacked by Foden. Karničík there first concedes the corner.
Super play by England, I've got to say. Palmer driving with the ball. Lofted one up, little late iron, chipped it in the air. This one's for Deck actually. A little late iron into the air that came through. His cross was magnificent. He just needed a tapping.
Phil Foden will take the corner over on the England left-hand side. Hitting really deep. Kane trying to get his head to it. Has actually diverted it back towards Foden, who bobbles one in. There's been a push on a Slovenian defender. And it's going to be a free kick which will be taken by them inside their own box. Now that yellow card that I said was for Declan Rice seemingly was actually for Foden for dissent rather than for Rice for the challenge. Foden, well, we understand, is the player who has been booked. 11 minutes to go and it's goals.
Yeah, I think a goal for England now will take this performance from probably a 7 to certainly an 8, that is for sure.
Stacked very much in favour of the second half performance as well, those positive marks. The second half has probably been an 8 bordering on a 9 if England would have scored a goal. It's been their best football that we've seen out here, and has restored a modicum of belief, but nothing to show for it. Well, not too much to show for it yet, although 0-0 with the other game being 0-0 does mean that the night will have a very positive outcome. Walker finding John Stones. Stones towards the edge of the centre circle. Mainoo's dropped deep, splitting the gap between Stones and Walker for a moment. Now Mainoo has it again and brings it through the centre circle to John Stones. Stones on halfway as he controls the ball to his left-hand side for Declan Rice. Down towards Walker. Be interesting to see what you have made of this England performance. And you can tell the boys on the sports bar on 03717 223344 from 10:30. Bellingham flicked in through the midfield. Palmer is involved. Palmer just waiting for a return ball. Mainoo couldn't quite provide it. Yaksh's down, hurt again, and play will stop so that he can receive treatment. It's not a head injury. Didn't seem to be too much need to stop play there. The referee has told him that he's either going to have treatment or get back on his feet and get on with it. Just caught by Jude Bellingham. It should be a drop ball in England's favour when play restarts.
As I say, just wanted a bit of sympathy, and I don't think he got too much from his own fans, let alone the England fans.
What do England need to do, Stu, in the 9 minutes that remain to turn this, as you said, from a 7 into an 8? How do they get the goal?
Well, it's just keep doing what they're doing. Palmer's come on, give us a lift. Mainoo's come on, give us a lift. Kane's played well. It's those interchange. Keep forcing it. Keep the tempo high, and keep doing what they're doing, basically.
Stones to Walker, now out towards Cole Palmer. Palmer, lovely drop of the shoulder onto his right foot, then his left, laid back towards Jude Bellingham. Bellingham looking for Declan Rice in the midfield. Rice couldn't get a clean touch. The Slovenians play it forward, long one over the top. And that'll drift away and out for a throw, which will be taken on the England right-hand side. While the other game is 0-0. If England were to find themselves behind in this one, they would finish second in the group. Slovenia would win the group. So everything's still so tightly poised. Stones to Rice to Walker. Walker down towards the England right-hand side for Cole Palmer. Another awkward ball. Diving headed clearance. Got it away. It was another piece of good defending by Yol. And a couple of those. Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to be coming on in a moment for England. Ball laid off by Bellingham out towards the left flank. Kieran Trippier. 8 minutes plus stoppage time to go. So maybe 12 minutes of playing time remaining. Stones on halfway. Sporak. One of those nights where he's having to do all of his good work off the ball. He's getting no opportunities to shine on it.
It's the credit to the England backline, who every time the ball's been cleared, potentially, they've dealt with it apart from one occasion.
We were talking before the game about England's historical struggles against sides who play with a deep 4-4-2. The ball is played over the top for Kane inside the penalty area. Kane comes back outside the box. Feeds Phil Foden. Left-footed shot from him. Very well blocked. Elschmidt that threw himself into the line of fire. Comes back out for Foden again. Foden to Walker. Coming forward up the right flank, the lively Palmer. Palmer's ball inside the penalty area towards the penalty spot. Another one of those in-swinging low skidders. It was cleared, but we've seen so many deliveries from Palmer in the few minutes that he's been on the field. Launch long towards Gahey. And he's going to be able to smuggle it back for Jordan Pickford. Pickford coming out of his penalty area, flicked on. Palmer trying to help it round the corner. His boot raised too high, he's caught Janja. And it's going to be a free kick to Slovenia. That would give England the opportunity to make the change at Stewart. And it's going to be Kieran Trippier coming off and Trent coming on.
Strange one, but maybe they're looking for Trent, I think, to come on. I thought he might come into a midfield berth, probably for Jude, but that's not been the case. He's slipped in here. Little switch, Walker's gone to left back. Maybe not a bad thing, we've got Trent on. You asked what could England do to win the game. Maybe his range of passing might be one of those things.
6 minutes to go. Bellingham chasing after a ball that was played back for Oblak. Threw himself at the goalkeeper in an attempt to get in the way of his clearance. Oblak's clearance beat him. Ball very quickly down the other end of the field. England win a free kick at their own. Pickford. Here is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Long ball almost skewered round the back of the centre-half to Kusic. Not quite though. Stojanovic wins the throw for Slovenia on halfway. Really, really tense in Cologne because one moment here, or one moment down country in the other game between Denmark and Serbia could make a phenomenal amount of difference. Slovenians now going to make changes of their own. And the players that are coming on, the former Huddersfield midfielder Jan Goran Stankovic. And he's going to be joined on the field by Seller. Jan Seller, the Lugano striker, came off the last 15 minutes against Denmark, had a good season in the Swiss League, more than 20 goals. And Maka and Spora are the players that are coming off. 5 to go, 0-0. England doing okay, but it's tense.
It's incredible, really. You've got 2 0-0 draws going on at this moment in time. England have been very, very comfortable, but and already qualified out of the group. But you know full well the jeopardy that you've got to drop into a weaker or a stronger part of the draw.
Into the 87th minute, John Stones in possession for England. Alexander-Arnold working it to Mainu, but he slipped. And Janša's going to be able to bring it forward for Slovenians down the left-hand side. England have been able to get their shape back. Stankovic making an early run forward, trying to get in behind Alexander-Arnold. And then comes back from Alexander-Arnold's blind side. Fed Ilicic. England win it back. Mainu to Trent Alexander-Arnold again. Goal in either game changes the complete complexion of this group potentially. Alexander-Arnold works it into the feet of Foden. England winning the group at the moment, but a goal for Denmark or a goal for Slovenia, and that changes. Goal for England, they're home and hosed. Walker out of the England left once more. 3 to go here on TalkSport. 3 to go in the other game over on TalkSport 2. If you've got the app, you can easily swipe between the two, and you'll be able to do that tomorrow as we bring you 2 games at 5 and 2 games at 8, the conclusions of Groups E and F. Another England change. We'll see Anthony Gordon come on in a moment. Not much time for him to shine. Long ball out towards the England right-hand side for Cole Palmer. First touch, volley past the fullback Janša. Palmer then appeared to initiate the contact. Janša didn't do too much to get out of the way, and England have a free kick just outside the box on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Trent Alexander's wandered over to it with Foden, left and right foot delivery. Good play once again by Palmer. He's had good impact. I've been really impressed. We talked about the impact from the bench. Been really impressed with Palmer and Mainu.
Yes, England's substitutions have been effective today. Another oft-publicised criticism of Gareth Southgate, but not so much today. Now, can England make this pay? We're in the 89th minute. Last time that these two sides met, England won it with a stoppage time goal from Harry Kane. Will Kane be able to strike late? Will one of his teammates be able to get the job done here and seal this? In it comes from Foden. Goalkeeper came out, didn't get close to it, but it was knocked away. Mainu then protects the ball outside the penalty area. There's a Slovenian man who's gone down, and he's waved up. He doesn't get up, and the referee again inexplicably, because it's not a head injury, stops the play.
Really odd referee in there. We know what he's done. I don't know if he's given free kick eventually.
I think he might have done. Stojanovic, the player that went down. So England will make the change. Foden coming off, Gordon coming on.
Yeah, as I say, there's been some good performances in the England ranks, I've got to say tonight. Steve Palmer, now Gordon making their bow in this tournament.
What have you made of Foden?
I thought he's played quite well tonight. I think the longer the game's gone on, the more he's got into it, he's been more effective on this left-hand side because we had the numbers overload, which has helped him and England, the balance of the team. All we've been short of is a goal, really, Jim.
Yeah, solid second half performance. England's best 45 minutes of the tournament so far. Stones played out of the England left-hand side now for Anthony Gordon, who's dropped his shoulder, just poked it past the fullback, chases after it, but it's gone out, and it's gone out of play for a throw to Slovenia. Just waiting to see how many extra minutes are going to be added on. There's going to be a change first from the Slovenians, and Balkovets will come on to replace Janša. Janša, who's on a yellow card, has been leading a little bit of a charmed life at times, so Balkovets will come on to replace him for stoppage time. And it looks as though there are going to be 4 additional minutes. So 4 minutes for either side to win this game. 0-0 to score at the moment. The last 3 times England have played against the side who played with a deep compact 4-4-2, they've scored just the 1 goal in those 3 games combined. They have created opportunities in this second half, but haven't been able to make the most of them. It's a throw which will be taken by England, level the edge of the Slovenian penalty area. 0-0 the score in both games. England winning the group, Denmark will come second, Slovenia third, and they will also go through. Alexander-Arnold. Back past Stones for Pickford. The white smoke billowing away to the right-hand side, some pyro in the Slovenian end. Now Stones has got it. Stones 10 yards inside his own half. Out of the right-hand side for Cole Palmer. Palmer put under pressure. Lays it back for Alexander-Arnold. Small ball from him. Needs rescuing by Walker. It was. Stretched out his right leg. Brought it under control. And Walker in a position to try and bring it forward now for England. Can they create one final chance? Good ball between the lines. Made a great touch. Kane towards the edge of the penalty area. Palmer comes onto it. Black dives to his left and makes the save.
Really good play there. Why was it good play? Because Gordon picked it up and drove with the ball, got his head up, faced the opposition's goal, and a couple of great incisive passes and interchanges, and Palmer come onto that and just flattened off with his effort a little bit. Not easy taking them like that. He needed to open the goal up a little bit. Good play by England.
It would have been some time for him to score his first international goal. A couple of minutes to go here. And about 4.5 to go at the Allianz stand in Munich, where it's still 0-0 between Denmark and Serbia. The throw will be taken on the right flank by the Slovenians. They've been forced back, and then England actually, as the ball goes back out of play, win a throw themselves. Throw on halfway. 90 seconds to go. Walker filling in at left back for the closing stages of this game. Down towards Stones. Stones working into Trent Alexander-Arnold. Another good ball turned down the right-hand side. Cole Palmer's got it. A little hint of a stumble. He's forced down towards the corner flag. Little back heel flick's got the better of Elshnik. Gets it back from Mainu. Setting it up for Alexander-Arnold on the edge of the penalty area. Was he caught? The referee's assistant put his flag up and then put it down again very swiftly. Play goes on as England then win possession back after good work from Walker, and Bellingham brings it forward. Coming in off the left flank is the blonde-haired Anthony Gordon. Now to Alexander-Arnold, right-footed effort over the bar, and that may well see this end 0-0.
Yeah, good play there. Once again, I'll tell you what I'm enjoying. I'm watching Palmer and Gordon coming on, as much to say, sending a message to the dugout, hey, I'm ready for you if you need me. So I don't think we should be afraid of making changes.
Yeah, a number of positives to dissect from the second half, but not the win that England wanted. Not seemingly. Only about 10-12 seconds to go as Jan Oblak prepares to take this goal kick. Slovenians will be delighted when the full-time whistle goes, because it will mean that they have qualified. Ball played for there, Ilicic chased it, Gay, he swept up. It's a 0-0 draw, and the boos ring out from an element of the England support. Real frustration from them that they haven't got the job done, but it was a better second half. Slovenian substitutes race onto the field, surround Jan Oblak, who made a couple of significant saves. Slovenia have qualified for the knockout stages of a major tournament for the first time in their history. For England, the first half was indifferent. It reeked of oh no de Cologne, but it turned out much better in the second half with some inspired substitutions. There is now something to build on. England just hoping that the news from Munich is good, and that is enough to win the group. It finishes 0-0.